GuitarLessons.com, the #1 name in guitar lessons online.
Welcome to GuitarLessons.com. I'm Nate Savage, and in this lesson we're going to learn something that every guitar player needs to know, and that's how to change your strings on your electric guitar. Now, the first thing we're going to really think about is how can you tell when your strings need to be changed. There's two ways that you can really tell when your strings need to be changed. One is by looking at them and just seeing if they're all nasty and dirty and rusted. And the second way, probably the most important way you can tell, is by how they sound. If they sound nice and bright, probably good to go. If they sound kind of thuddy and dull, then it's time to change your strings. I get a lot of people in the music store that I work at coming in and saying, I broke a string, will you change my strings for me? And I ask them, how long have you been playing? And they're like, 6 months, a year. And it's like, whoa, you don't know how to change your strings? It's pretty amazing. So don't let that person be you. Watch this video, learn how to change your strings, and you'll be good to go. I have a set of Diodario EXL 110 strings, 10 gauge Diodario strings, and I really love these strings because they rarely ever break and they're color coded, so you never have to guess about which string you're putting on your second string or fifth string or whatever. So, second thing I have is just a regular string winder. That'll make my life a lot easier when I'm changing all 6 strings so I don't have to crank until I die with my left hand. So let's start off by taking the high E string off with our string winder. Put your string winder on there and just start cranking. Depending on what kind of guitar you have, that'll kind of dictate which side of the headstock that your tuning peg is on. Once you have it pretty loose, you could probably just pull it off like that and you'll be fine. Now on this guitar, the strings load from the back, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to push the string through, grab it, and yank it out. Throw the old one to the side, grab the new set, pull them out. If you have a set of Diodarios, the silver-ended ball, right here, if you can see that, is always your high E string. So I'm going to flip the guitar over and feed the new string, through my high E string hole. Pull it out the front until it catches. Put my guitar back right here. I should mention that you may have a bridge like this where it loads through the back. Most Fender style bridges do that. But you also may have one that loads through the top. Don't let that throw you off. It's the same idea, you just may have to put it into the top side, which is, I think, is a little bit easier. So, take your string, pull it down to your tuning peg that's empty and ready for the string, put it through, and you want to leave about enough slack for about 2 or 3 wraps around the post. So what I like to do is take that slack and just start winding it first, so I have to crank less. If you have a string tree like this one, you want to make sure it goes under that string tree. Take your string winder, start cranking. Now it's good to make sure that when the string comes around to where the loose end of the string comes across the part where you're winding it, that you have a couple of wraps over the string, like we did at the beginning when I wrapped it around, and a couple of winds underneath the loose end of the string, so the string kind of gets in a bind and it won't slip when you're tuning up or playing or bending. Now I'm just going to get it close to being in tune, get some tension on it. I'm not going to worry about tuning it yet. I'm just going to get all the strings changed, get the fresh ones on there. So let's go to the D string, loosen that one a bit. Take it off. Pull it through. Second color is a purple one, if you can see that from there. Careful, sometimes when you unwind them, they tend to pop open. You don't want to put your eye out or stick your hand. Take the new string, put it back through the second hole there. Pull it through the top until it catches. Stick it through the opening on the hole of the second post. Again, leaving about enough slack for about 3 wraps. Initial wrap goes on top. And once you get the winder ready, have all the subsequent wraps go underneath the loose end of the string. Again, if you have a string tree, make sure you go under right here. Finish cranking. Got our second string on there. Next one, our G string. Take our winder. Put out the other side. Oh, that's a good teaching lesson right here. My collet for my string on my telly just popped out, and that's something you want to be careful of. They're not really glued in there very well, so a lot of people lose those, and if you lose one, you generally have to buy a whole new set, so be careful when you're changing strings on a guitar like this. Take your third string. Now, one thing I'm going to mention to you right here is whatever guitar you have, make sure when you're putting the new string on that whatever side of the post that it wrapped around, make sure you wrap it around the same way. So if you have this guitar right here, see how all the strings come up on the right side of the post. I've seen people come in where the string is wrapped around the wrong way, like this, like around the left side. You always want to make sure you put it on the same way that you took it off. Okay, once you're done with getting your new strings on, it's time to clip into your strings so you don't poke yourself. The string winder comes with little clippers on the end, and I love these because you always have your clippers if you have a string winder. You don't have to carry 2 things around. So just get close as you can to the post, the tuning post, flip it off, and the same thing on the rest of them. So we're done changing our strings on our electric guitar. Now it's your turn to go out and buy probably 2 packs of D'Addario strings, because just in case you break one or something goes wrong with that pack, you won't have to go all the way back to the music store and grab another package. So go ahead and try to change your own strings on your own guitar.